What's up, guys? Welcome back to Sunday Sports Club Podcast, a podcast all about sports told by a woman, and that one is me. Hi, guys. I'm Allison Kuch, obviously. Like, I have to say that in every podcast, but I'm like, I guess, I don't know. Maybe some of you don't know who I am. But today we are here with a very special guest, Katie Feeney. So, welcome to Sunday Sports Club. How are you feeling?
Thank you for having me on, Allison. I've been watching your stuff for years. I absolutely
Same.
love what you're doing. I feel like we've crossed paths at different events, so we haven't actually gotten the time to sit down and talk. So this should be really fun.
It is crazy because I feel like the sports community is really small, and more specifically, women in the sports community.
Yes.
So, like, whenever I think of women in sports, I think of you and, like, Annie Agar.
Yes.
And I'm like, we're changing the space.
I love that.
No, I love it so much. Okay, so you're going through a lot of life changes, which I want to get to, but you're going to the ESPYs tonight.
Yes.
So this is your second ESPYs. How are you feeling about going to an event like that?
I mean, last year, the ESPYs was on my dream list of events to attend, bucket list item.
Yeah.
And so going last year was so surreal. I'm excited to go into it, kind of having a better idea of how it goes. I mean, every event is so different and like
Yeah.
red carpets and all of that. I'm excited like that Shane Gillis is the host too. It should
Yeah.
be funny. But yeah, I'm doing some red carpet interviews today, so it should be a little bit different than last year.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm pumped just to see everyone. I love seeing everyone's outfits. I think that's my favorite part.
No, literally, me too. I feel like, well, I think it was the NFL honors that I was looking at everybody's outfits and I was like, okay, you guys have clearly put in a lot more work than I have when it comes to
Same.
outfits. I was like trying on 10 dresses before the NFL honors and I was like, I guess I'll just go with this one. I'm like sending it to like my mom and I'm like, I probably should have thought this through more because
Oh, you looked fabulous.
but people have like bedazzled suits and the dresses and like I'm not surprised though because I feel like athletes have like a very specific style and it's always like stepping outside the box.
Yeah, one day I'll get there, maybe.
So when it comes to an event like that, like are you prepping for the red carpet any specific way?
Yeah, I mean, I usually just try to see everyone that's attending. I try not to put too much prep or pressure on myself. Sometimes I feel like the authentic, just like reactions I have in the moment, just, I mean, I feel like it comes across a little bit better sometimes. But yeah, I just try not to over prep, but still feel comfortable and prepared to everything. Have some concepts, ideas I want to do while I'm in there.
Yeah. Okay, that's interesting. I always wonder from like a content perspective, like how much other content creators are thinking beforehand.
Right.
Like I know some people make spreadsheets. There was a girl on TikTok that like made a spreadsheet ahead of like Coachella and she had like this video to do on this day and like literally a whole spreadsheet. Are you that type of person? Or are you more like, I have this idea, but like we'll see how it goes?
Yeah, no, I saw someone do that with a wedding too. There's like a
Oh,
TikTok
yes,
wedding and there's a whole jazz.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, I wish I could be that way. I'm organized and I'm a big like to-do list person, but like my notes app on my phone is the most disorganized thing ever. But anytime I have an idea, like I immediately jot it down on my notes app or like
Yeah.
I'll save ideas on TikTok and Instagram. Honestly, most of the time I never even go back to what I see, but it's like in my
Yes.
head, writing it down or like saving it somewhere, it helps me remember.
Yeah.
I don't know. I keep a lot of mental notes.
Right, no, but I've heard that if you write something down, it helps you remember, and like that's a way to like study in college
Yeah.
or school. So I could see that. Maybe one day I'll try the spreadsheet method, but I'm very type B. You give off type A.
Really? See,
Yeah.
I think a lot of people say that. My room, in college, and just I'm working on it. I'm type A about some things. Like
Yeah.
I'm very, I don't know. I need to like know what my schedule is, but then like all like the logistics, I'm
Yeah.
not too.
You're like,
type
we'll
A
get
about.
there eventually.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. I think more when it comes to work, I'm like very type A, but everything else I'm type B.
Yeah.
Like my
Same.
license was expired for like well, I don't want to admit that, but a long time. So it's interesting though because you kind of became very successful at a very young age, and obviously your interest is sports. So when did you first get integrated in that, and what made you realize like, okay, this is like really taking off? Like this is crazy.
Yeah, so I've been doing social media for a very long time, which I don't even think that many people realize because I'm known, I would say now for a lot of my sports content, but I started pre-TikTok on Musical.ly.
Oh
I
my
can't
God.
even look at those videos. Like I don't know what was going through my mind, but I was a kid. Like I was literally 13 years old posting on the internet
Mm-hmm.
with like absolutely no direction or like didn't think that it would go anywhere. It was just for fun with my
Yeah.
friends, dancing, doing all the TikTok or
You were
Musical.ly
doing the
things.
dances.
Yeah, I was doing the dances.
Oh my god.
You know the begging dance that like Charlie D'Amelio? Do you remember that era? So
Yes.
one of my best friends and I, we made that dance. So that was like my claim to fame for like a good year was creating that
Yes.
dance.
Are you the type of person that's like, I want credit on every time somebody does that dance?
No, I mean, I was hoping, I was like, I hope Charlie like acknowledges me one time because just loved her.
Yeah.
And then she like had duetted my original video and I'm like, I've made it. And then Addison Rae gave me video creds or dance creds. And yeah, that was really exciting for my 15-year-old self.
Oh my god. Okay, so starting on Musical.ly and then TikTok.
Yeah.
You just kind of like, I feel like everybody transformed from Musical.ly to TikTok.
Yeah.
And then where did it go from there?
Yeah, so I was in high school when it became TikTok, and I had taken a little break off of social media just because
Yeah.
I was known to be like the social media girl, which, in a small town I mean, I consider where I live a pretty small town, and just like going to school and I got made fun of a lot. Definitely had the nights where I would come home crying, but I loved it. I loved like entertaining people.
Yeah.
And so I always kind of went back and forth like, do I keep doing this? Like, how do I face all my friends and like knowing they just watched my video last night? And yeah, some of my stuff was like a little bit cringy.
No,
I
my
will
stuff
fully admit that still sometimes. Like,
right now, I'm like, if you know me in real life, don't talk about TikTok to me.
Yeah.
Because the idea that like people watch my stuff, like, please don't.
no, I know. Like sometimes I forget. I'm like, wait, my teachers would like put it up on the I don't even know what the boards were called at the time. Like these big like PowerPoint boards. And my videos, they like play them on YouTube sometimes. Like this is just like absolutely not what I want to see right now.
Please. You're like, okay, no.
Yeah. So it was definitely an interesting time, but I kept going. I'm like, you know what? I'm really passionate about this. And I mean, it was still like pre-sports stuff, but I loved it. So I kept going. And then quarantine hit my junior year of high school, which is when I had a lot more time. And I didn't have to go to school and face everyone. So I was
Yeah.
like, you know what? This is my time to just really go full throttle and like use the momentum. So that was my like biggest growth period was during quarantine,
Yeah.
which I'd say for a lot of people.
That was
It
same for
was.
me.
Yeah.
I think we were all just at home and we're like, okay, what can we do?
Right.
And I think if you want a creative outlet, it's so easy to be, well, it's not easy in some words. Like, don't come for me, please. But I feel like it's just like a good creative outlet. It's fun. It's like hearted. It doesn't feel too intense.
Yes.
I mean, now it feels a lot more intense.
Right.
But I'm sure at that time you were like, okay, like what? Why not?
Yeah. I mean, I was ordering the most random things off of Amazon and like I've had this series where I ordered sea monkeys and like I would follow their growth. It was so different to what I
Wait,
do now. Like I was like, people still ask me about the sea monkeys to this day. Like I'm like, there's some like things that that's what people know me for. And
Yeah.
so here, like now, hopefully it's not the sea monkeys, but every now and then, like the sea monkeys
The sea
sneak their way
monkeys.
back in. Yeah,
That's insane though, because whenever I think about you, I think about sports. But
yeah, that's good.
there might
We'll
be a
keep it
lot of
that
people
way.
out there that think sea monkeys.
Yeah, they're like, wait, no, actually, that's the sea monkey girl. No, hopefully now
Yeah.
the narrative has changed a little bit.
Yes.
But I mean, I think like in social media in general, and like you constantly have to reinvent yourself. And I mean, the biggest thing is, right, you have to stay relevant and you
Yeah.
have to continue reaching new eyeballs, new people, growing your audience. So it's like, how can you change up what you're doing a little bit? For me, I made a big shift. I was doing like unboxing content, a lot of like food reviews, the beauty, lifestyle,
Right.
honestly, a mix of everything. And then going to Penn State, that's what shifted me to sports.
Which is quite the shift from going from all of that stuff. I feel like that's very pop culture-ish. I think like back to like the early YouTube days of like the bright colors, like
Yes.
the animated, like I don't know, it feels like a production, to sports, which is very not as much of a production. It's kind
Right.
of like what you see is what you get. Obviously, you can like make it what you want. Okay, so then you go to Penn State. Did you know you wanted to get into sports when you first went there?
No. So I was planning on going to University of Maryland because just it made the most sense, like financially and state
Right.
tuition, and it's a great university.
Right.
So that was my plan. I was like 98% going to go to Maryland, had my roommate, and then I started making money on social media. And I'm like, you know what? What if I just take a risk? I'm going to pay for my own college completely, and I'm going to go to a school that like I really want to go to. I mean, And honestly, I hadn't applied to too many schools. I applied to Maryland, Ohio State, Clemson, Penn State, and then Harvard, which was just a jump. I was
Please,
like, you know what?
Harvard.
If I get into Harvard, I have to go. I'm
Did
like,
you get accepted?
no. I did get an interview, but then I find out later on that people are like, well, everyone gets an interview. And I'm like, you know what? Can you just let me feel a little bit special?
Wow.
So I did not
Yeah.
get into Harvard, which honestly was a blessing in disguise. I don't know why I even thought for like,
You're like, I don't like Harvard law.
yeah, I'm like, Elwood.
Yeah, right.
No, so yeah, was originally going to study marketing at Penn State, so got into their business school,
Okay.
and then once I got there, honestly, I wanted to shift just into communications because I thought it would make more sense with like the, I don't know, the broadcast and like that side of social media. Which then, I had a meeting with like the social media department with Penn State and
Mhm.
just kind of talked about what I could do, how I could work with them. Started interning for their social media, and then went on the field for the first time for the Penn State Whiteout, which is the most like insane game to experience being on the field for, especially like as a freshman at a new school. And it
Yeah.
was my first one.
Crazy.
Yeah.
So then from there, it just kind of transformed into like you becoming a part of that community.
1,000%. Yeah. Once I was on the field, and it was kind of up to me to decide, like, do I like this? Do I want to keep doing this? And I just, the energy, like, I was like, whatever this feeling is, I
You're like-
want to feel it again. And I
Mhm.
want to be able to have my audience, like, have a glimpse of what they're not typically seeing. Cause I
Right.
didn't know. I mean, and I even remember applying to schools. I was looking on every, like, piece of whatever platform on social media, like, who was posting about this school? Like, how can I get the most like
Yes.
insider information on this school? Because I mean, like
Yeah.
that's what I was looking for. And so, especially with football, like I wanted people to see a side that they hadn't seen yet.
Yeah.
And at the time, it wasn't really being done. Like there wasn't a ton of behind the scenes sports content, especially
No.
like a content creator in college on the field. Like no one was doing it. So I had no blueprint. I'm like, I don't know
You're
what
like,
to do.
yeah,
but
paving the way, and you're like, I don't know which way to take and which way
Yeah.
to do it. I mean, but you did it successfully. So because
I mean,
you're,
I hope so.
yeah, right. Because I feel like you're here now. What was like a turning point that you thought, okay, wow, this is less about just like social media. It's bigger than that. It's like a job. It's a career. Like I'm making a name for myself. I'm changing the game.
Yeah, I mean, I would definitely say like it kind of aligns with the sports stuff. I'd say the biggest just like life-changing moment was that when the Commanders reached out and I became their first social media correspondent, which was then the NFL's first ever social media correspondent. So that
Mhm.
was like, I mean, it hadn't been done yet. So it was
Right.
like all these news outlets are picking it up. Adam Schefter tweeted it out, which I think people thought was the coolest part of it of all. Like my brothers
Honestly,
and my dad are
it's
texting
pretty
me. They're
cool.
like, Adam Schefter just tweeted about you. I'm like, I don't even,
You're like,
I was so taken aback.
yeah,
I'm like,
right?
this is all a whirlwind. So that was like the biggest, like, okay, this is happening. Like,
Yeah. I mean, for the people listening, Adam Schefter he tweets about all the big transactions that are happening in
Right.
sports. I mean, if something's happening, he's probably the first to release it. I remember when Isaac signed with the Indianapolis Colts, his agent reached out and said, oh, hey, I think Adam's going to tweet this later today, just so you're aware he's going to like leak it, apparently. I'm like,
yeah.
am I like, listen, like, is this the behind the scenes? Like, so this is planned. Like, it's not actually like him leaking it on social media, but it is such a cool, I mean, yeah, your family was probably like, wait, what?
Yeah, no, I mean, there's been so many. I mean, even like looking back now at the different, I guess, like milestones I've hit, like I need to like sometimes just like sit back and be like, this has all happened in like such a short period of time.
Yes.
And that's kind of what this like space is. Like once you get a little bit of momentum, you have to take it and run with it because now's the time. Like I can't wait and like, you know what? Maybe in a year, like because I was in college,
Right.
so like obviously balancing it was a challenge and like having to go to class. But I'm like,
oh, yeah,
this is
classes and like actually
Yeah.
graduating.
but I always like was a big believer in taking opportunities and like making it work. If it means I have to
Yeah.
wake up at 5 a.m. this morning and then go to bed at 2 a.m., like it'll be worth it in the long run.
Yeah, you were like ready to put it all out there. You were gonna take risks. You were like gonna make if it was meant to be, like you wanted to give it your all to see like where you would end up.
Yeah, you have to be willing to put yourself in new positions, even if it's a little bit scary or you're
Mhm.
not used to it. Maybe it's a little bit uncomfortable, but like that's how you grow in
Yeah.
everything in life. Like that's the biggest thing I've learned from this space.
If you guys have been following me on social media for a while, you know I love my drinks. Like any type of drink. I actually used to have a little series on social media that I would like try out a new drink every week and I would rate it like 1 to 10 and it would kind of just be all over the place. All that being said, I just love drinks and a drink that I have been a recent fan of is called Simply Pop. So Simply has launched a new prebiotic soda, Simply Pop, which is the new juicy soda. There are 5 flavors. They have pineapple mango, lime, strawberry, citrus punch, and fruit punch. Simply Pop is a new fruit forward bevy of prebiotic sodas made with 6 grams of prebiotic fiber to support gut health and vitamin C and zinc to support immune function. Which you guys, if you've been following me on social media, know that I have some problems with my gut health and I'm always traveling. So anything to support my immune function, I'm a fan of. That's why Simply Pop contains the same real fruit flavors you know and love, and no added sugar makes for a soda that even a juice would drink. My favorite flavor is the pineapple mango. I just feel like it's so fresh and juicy, and it's perfect for summer. And whenever I'm drinking it, I feel like I'm doing something for my body, both immune system and my gut health. And the best part is that, again, no added sugar. So I just feel like you can't beat something like that. I personally highly recommend this, whether you're on the go, you wake up and you want something juicy, or, just an outdoor summer beverage by the pool. Why not? So if you guys are interested in trying out Simply Pop, I'm a huge fan of it. I would recommend heading over to cokeurl.com/simplypop to find out where you can try Simply Pop. You guys, I'm going to be very honest. I hate wearing a bra. I hate it. But you know what? I don't really get that luxury because, especially after breastfeeding my daughter, the girls need a little support. And I'm not talking about like emotional support. I'm talking about they actually need support. And that's why I want to take a second to talk about Skims. I love Skims so much. I first discovered them, I think, back when Isaac was playing in Indiana. That's how I create chapters of my life, is just like where Isaac was playing at the time. But I remember trying the Skims Fits Everybody collection. And ever since then, that has been my go-to bra that I choose to wear every single day because it's a bra that doesn't actually feel like you're wearing a bra. That's my kind of bra, okay? I love how they have so many different color selections. They have so many different styles, and their underwear, again, it feels like you're not wearing any. And typically that would be my go-to, but these days I have been wearing underwear, and it's from Skims Fits Everybody collection. If you guys haven't tried it out, I highly recommend. It is so soft, it's breathable. I feel like thongs used to bother me so much throughout the day, and like you're just out in public, you're just picking your thong. Anyways, the Fits Everybody collection, it melts onto your skin and you're going to forget that you're wearing any underwear at all. And I just feel like everybody needs to experience that kind of level of comfort in life. So if you guys can't tell, I'm a huge fan of the Skims Fits Everybody collection. If you guys are interested, you can shop Skims Fits Everybody collection and more at skims.com. After you place your order, be sure to let them know that I sent you. You can select podcast in the survey and be sure to select my show in the drop-down menu that follows. You recently moved to New York City.
Yes.
And I recommend moving to a place you've never lived before and you might not know a ton of people, to everybody. Because I moved to LA, I think it was 9 days after I graduated college. Granted, I did know my boyfriend, now husband at the time. So like a person I was very comfortable with, but he lived in Orange County, and I feel like me moving, I was pushed outside my comfort zone in so many different scenarios with like just moving to a new place. I lived with a roommate I met on Facebook. I probably would not recommend that to anybody.
No, that's how they do it. Like for colleges too, is like these Facebook groups, and that's how you meet.
Okay,
people.
but I was like back in the day. Okay, I'm old. So back then it was a little sketchier. And now it's way more normal.
Maybe that wasn't as normal then.
Yeah, I literally remember meeting her for like brunch and we got mimosas and like, hi, my name's Allison. Do you want to live together? Like, yeah, it's so weird.
Yeah, post grad too. And that is definitely different.
So when did you realize you wanted to move to New York?
It was very impulsive. So again, it was kind of like my Penn State decision. Honestly, every decision I base now, like I go back to Penn State, I'm like, you know what? That was the right move and I took a risk. I'm going to do it again. Yeah. So was planning on moving to Arlington, Virginia. I mean, I had a few areas.
Wait. Okay. So you went from Arlington, Virginia, and then you moved to New York City.
Yeah, big jump. But I'm from Maryland, and so, like, my brothers both live in Arlington,
Mhm.
and, but so I had an apartment I found, and I was, like, ready to sign the lease. The page
Yeah.
didn't load that day. Also, keep in mind, the apartment I found was the same one as my brothers. They lived together in Arlington, and I would have been the floor, like, directly above them. So, like,
Okay.
love my brothers. I know that they enjoy hanging out with
They're
me, but,
great.
like, me tagging along with them with all of their friends every single day, probably not what they want.
Yeah.
But I loved the place. Like, it was nice, but I'm like, where do I go from here? Like, the opportunities are just not going to be the same as New York City.
Yeah, okay.
So, yeah, the page didn't load for me signing my lease. I'm like, okay, I'll come back to it. Then I had a work trip in New York. And also, every time I had gone to New York, I really only stayed like close to Times Square. So I hadn't really
Oh,
seen
yeah.
what New York is all about. Like, that was kind of my only impression of New York. And I still loved it. Like, I'm a sucker for touristy things. Like, I love New York,
Same.
like during Christmas time and,
Yeah.
seeing the tree and going to see the Rockettes. So I do like that part of it. But I hadn't seen anything past Midtown. So then I was in meatpacking for an event and I got to walk around West Village and Soho. I'm like, wait,
Yeah.
this is why people are in love with the
Yes.
city.
Mhm.
So after then, I was like, you know what? I'm gonna do it. So I started looking for apartments.
Your family's like, "Okay."
Yeah, they're like, okay. Once I got my parents on board, I mean, they're like, they trust my gut and my
Yeah.
intuition, and I just had a good feeling about New York. So, once I found like a place I felt safe in, and I live alone, so I think like finding like a nice building where I
Right.
just feel comfortable. And once I found that and got the apartment, like, of my dreams, I got very lucky. I
Yeah.
didn't look at too many apartments. I was, like, loading Street Easy, which, like, finding an apartment in New York is very
I've heard it's
difficult.
kind of like you have to get a real estate agent essentially.
Yeah, I did end up getting a realtor to help me.
What?
Yeah, I mean, just, like,
That stresses me out.
yeah, it was very stressful because I didn't think I was gonna get the apartment, and then I'm like, "Okay, I'm gonna have to keep looking," and so I found
Yeah.
another apartment, and you have to be ready to sign, like, honestly, like, the
Like
day
that,
you
yeah,
look.
right then and there.
Or it could go. So, I mean, I got try to get ahead of the curve because a lot of people look, like, right after they graduate, and I was looking in March,
Yeah.
April time, found the apartment, signed the lease. I'm like, "Yep, this is it." Moved 3 days after graduation and have been there for,
And
like, the
you're like,
last 2 months.
yeah, you were like, and so I'm currently living there, I think.
I
Like, I don't
think
know
I'm
what's
like,
going on.
when did I move there?" I'm
Yeah,
like,
does it kind of feel like whiplash? Like after you
yeah,
graduate college, I feel like college is such a bubble.
yeah.
Maybe less for you because social media forces you to do things outside of just the college bubble. But like, what are you looking forward to in the next year?
Yeah, I mean, I think, like, I loved college and I loved my
Mhm.
friends and stuff, but I think there's obviously, like, limitations with how I can spend my time,
Yeah.
and the stress of school, like, I don't know what it is. It's a different level of stress. Like,
You're so young. That's making me I feel so old, you guys.
I'm like, I had to take like, last summer, I had to take statistics, and I had to get a tutor for it, so I'm like,
I haven't had to do math since like I don't even remember.
horrible. And, like, I think honestly, it probably aligned with the ESPYs last year, like, before, like, having to get ready for a red carpet and doing interviews and all these stuff, I'm, like, on with my tutor, and then I have to take a 3-hour exam for stat, and then I have to go to the event and, like, get ready for it. So not
No,
having
no,
to do
no.
that now, it's like it's a breath of fresh air, and I'm ready to really,
Yeah.
like, take my career to the next level, and still kind of figuring out what that is because, again, like, being a woman in sports, like, we are
Yeah.
kind of figuring that out as we go, and especially in the social media space, like, yes, there's the blueprints there for broadcast and for
Yes.
hosting, but, like, okay, what about social media? How are we merging linear and social media and the lifestyle of it all?
Yes.
That's, like, kind of what I'm looking to
Yeah.
to figure out in the next year.
Yeah, so when it comes to sports, I feel like social media is such a new and evolving space. I feel like even at the beginning of my husband's career, which is way back in 2017, I'm like, "Were you in high school?" Or
I was in high
you were in
school.
high school? Okay, I'm just making sure the timeline. So I'm like, so back when Isaac first got drafted to the NFL, social media was like there. It was like, okay, you sign a contract and you just post a picture and it's like whatever, okay? But now it's like this whole production where if an NFL team is signing a big name player, they're doing multiple TikToks, they're doing multiple photos, different
Yes.
forms of short form content for YouTube and this and that. So, how have you seen the space evolve when it comes to short form content and like bridging the gap between teams and fans?
Yeah, I mean, I think, like, and you and Isaac are the perfect example. You gave people an inside look of
Mhm.
what it's like to be
Cry on the internet.
be a wife, like,
Yes.
with
Being a
with
wife of
an
an
NFL
NFL
player,
player,
like,
yeah.
that is something that people hadn't seen, and so, I think, like, storytelling is what I love about this space, and when you
Mhm.
get to know a player, a person, like, you start to really become invested in them, and you wanna watch them because you love the person they are,
Right.
like Josh Allen, I think he's such a down to earth guy. I love Haley too, and I
Yeah.
love their connection. And when you get to see like the inside scoop of like what their life is like, you just become so invested in like his career and his success. And like I
Yeah.
was rooting for him to be in the Super Bowl
I
because
was
I
rooting
love
for you.
but I love their relationship and I love like how down to earth he is. So I think like the more you're able to really showcase like who a person is like off the field,
Yes.
that's when like the magic happens.
That's when I think of the most, like, transformative time in, like, my social media career was really the time I was vulnerable and, like, showing the actual behind the scenes. Like, my husband would take the phone to the facility, and he'd be like, "Okay, this is what we're eating the night before a football game." And I think a lot of people found that interesting, but when I was talking about him, like, getting released after he just signed a contract, people were so confused. They're like, "What does this mean? Like, what is next?" And they become invested, and I think
Yes.
that's where fans are really looking forward to social media more so than like, okay, you can watch a football game, but what's happening off the field? Like what is making the team do well or not do well?
Right.
And I think fans are so interested in that and it's never been done before.
Yeah, no, there's like social media is giving fans a front row seat to this whole new world of sports that hasn't been done yet. And it's like similar to, you watch like actors and actresses in movies and it feels so distant. Like it feels
Yeah,
so out of reach. Their lives are so mysterious. And I feel like it was pretty similar for athletes
totally.
up, until like a few years ago. And now, like, I love watching like Alona with the Olympics. Like she's showing the Olympic Village and everything that's going on. That's what I crave to see, and I didn't even
Yes.
know I, like, wanted to see all of that, but she's showing it and showing, like, yeah, the ups, the downs, and all of it, and, like, to be vulnerable online is a very difficult thing to do, so I give you a lot of credit because you allowed
Yeah.
people to like, you let people in your life, and that's can be
Like
scary.
I let people a little too much into my
No, that's
life.
great, I love it.
Yeah, but it's the way that I look at social media and sports is like these players usually have a helmet on. So, like, you're not really familiar with, like, the young players who, like, are kind of, like, trying to make it, the middle players who are just, like, putting their head down, working, and, like, being successful at it, or, like, the big name players, you're very used to seeing them on Cheerio boxes and on commercials and this and that, and, like, you get to see the inside to their life. But when people saw me sharing me and Isaac's journey, they were like, "Oh, wow, so, like, he's not good at football." I'm like, "Okay, 7 years in the NFL is very rare,
Yeah,
but you're
what?
not used to seeing stories like this because a guy just, like, being in the NFL for 7 years and having, like, a good career is not gonna make headlines."
Yeah,
And so I think that's where, like, the bridge of social media and sports is going to really grow. So,
right.
what do you think in terms of social media and sports, where do you think there can be improvement?
I mean, I think, like, generating new ideas. I think now that it's been done for a little bit, a lot of people
Mhm.
are coming in, but doing very similar things. Like, so I mean, yeah, you constantly like you have to create almost like a niche within the sports space now.
Yeah.
Like have your own thing. Like I love how you brought up Annie because I think
Mhm.
Annie and her skits that's so original, so unique, and it's
Right.
so entertaining.
Yes.
So I love what she does. But yeah, I mean, I think like as leagues and teams become more familiar with it, I think naturally there's going to be more access and more opportunity for creators in the space. But I
Yeah.
think that it's kind of just, about getting adjusted and like making those next steps on, the more like the professional
Yeah.
side of it all because it's new and it's scary. I mean, like when I'm on a field, working with the commanders, I'm now representing the commanders as well. And like
Mhm.
that's important to keep in mind. So, like, you have to be, like, on your A game, and
Yeah.
I'm, like, a very, like, family-friendly creator, and, like, people will meet me in person sometimes, they're like, "That's not exactly how I imagined you would be." Like, it is, but it's not. I'm like, "Yeah, I mean, like, I'm not too far off how I am online, but, like,
Right.
I'm brand safe, and I'm, like, G-rated, I'm, like, a Disney
Yes.
Channel, like, that's my best, like, comp
Wait,
is
that's so funny because I agree. I agree that you are like very Disney Channel, like family friendly, but I think that's also a great thing because I think it allows you to be very versatile when it
Mhm.
comes to like what brands are working with, what teams are working with, and like the NFL is a huge organization as well as a bunch of other like sports organizations. But when I think of the NFL, they're not just gonna pick anybody with any past and be like, okay, you're doing really well in the content space. Here you go. Like, here's a jersey. Like, I think they also want to uphold this like image as well, and, like, they still want it to be professional, but they also want it to be fun at the same time, and I feel like you check so many of those boxes.
Yeah, no, I definitely think it helps, with having, like, teams and leagues
Mhm.
trust me. I honestly, like, I feel like I
Like,
didn't
she's not gonna
even.
go out in the field and, like,
Yeah.
start swearing or, like, wear something weird or
Yeah, like,
yeah.
they don't even have to, like, tell me, like, not to do, like, they know, but, like, I didn't even intentionally do that. I think just because I started so young
Yeah.
and, like, I always had my neighbors watching me or my parents watching me, my teachers.
Like, my dad's looking at
Yeah,
this.
I'm like, I definitely took a slower route to grow, like, and again,
Mhm.
I've been doing this for almost, like, 10 years now, and I'm 22, so I guess I was, like,
You're
maybe it's
so
9 years. I was, like,
young.
12 or 13 when I posted my first video online, and, like,
Yeah.
since then, have almost posted every single day, which is, like, crazy to think about. Because like, had I, graduated and got a job, I would be 32 right now working a job for, like, 10 years, and, like,
Yes.
I started when I was a kid, so definitely forced me to grow up really fast, mature
Yeah.
really fast, especially once I started to, like I created my own LLC and, like, now everything I think about how does this relate to my personal brand and, like, when you learn about the money side of it all, which is I'm still trying to learn, I'm like, "Okay, I grew up quickly,"
Yeah,
and,
you
like
grew up also on a screen.
yeah, and I give you again, like, I give you so much credit because you let people into your personal life, which I'm still
Sometimes I
working on
regret that.
doing. Like, I feel like my personal life and my, like, social media life is still pretty separate right now, so,
Yeah.
like, thinking of how can I, like, start to merge the 2 in a way that feels very natural, but, like, also allow myself to, like, when I'm logging off, like, my job to, like, get to hang
Yeah.
out with my friends and, like, my family and put my phone down. I think that's, like I'm a workaholic. I'm sure I mean, like,
Oh,
if you were in the space, that's
I feel like
how
if
we
you're in
are.
this space, like, you don't really put it down.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's something I'm trying to trying to work on this year. It's like one of my 2025 goals. But that was gonna be my next question is how are you bridging that gap between like being professional and also being yourself? And like I don't know, it's such a weird space to navigate in the creator space because you want to be like out there because I think that's where you grow with your community. Your community feels more invested when they know you like
Mhm.
that. But you also still want to come off as very professional and like, okay, I can go out there, I can do my job, and then I can like log off. So where is that bridge?
I feel like that's how I look at the different platforms. Like Snapchat, I'm very much, like, giving an insight into my personal life. Like, that's the
Yeah.
platform I do it on, and maybe it's because, like, subconsciously, I'm like, "Okay, it kind of it disappears." Like, it goes away. It doesn't nothing ever really goes away,
Yeah.
and, like, I end up creating, like, permanent stories so anyone can watch back, and, like, that's when I'll talk about, maybe, like, "Okay, what's my relationship status?" Or, what am I stressed
Mhm.
about? What is, like, going on in my personal life? And then on Instagram, maybe I'm not probably gonna talk about all of that, and I'll keep it more
Ooh.
professional. TikTok is, like, a mix. I
Okay.
feel like it feels a little bit more I mean, I think just because people are very open on there and, like,
Mhm.
Instagram, like, Reels is still a little bit more new.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, and then YouTube Shorts, like, I'll say anything on YouTube. Usually I break, like, the news. I'm like, "Break up, YouTube Shorts sees it first,"
Yeah.
and they're all like, "Oh my
You're like, "Okay, we're the
god."
first ones to get this."
Yeah.
Wait, that makes so much sense, though. Do you see your audience just kind of following you along on all of the platforms, or do you think there's a different audience with each one?
I mean, there's definitely crossover, but I feel like the audience is pretty different on each one. I mean,
Mhm.
my demographic now, like when I first started, it was primarily female. Honestly, it was probably like 90% female and like young girls. And I still
Yeah.
have those girls, which I love because they're able to look up to me and like see what I'm doing and now like feel like they're able to do it too. Like,
Yeah.
okay, she's a girl in sports, she's doing it, like maybe now I can go into this space and it's a little less scary. So I still have those girls, but now I have like the 18 to 24 demo,
Yeah.
which was honestly like that was my goal was to really get into that like college age, post grad age demo, especially like on the sports side. And I have like the 50-50 male female split,
Oh,
which like yeah,
interesting.
so it's changed a lot, and I would say it's pretty similar, that like 50-50, maybe a little bit more females on some platforms, but mostly, yeah, 18 to 24 on across platforms. YouTube, there's like a whole community of people worldwide, which I think is very unique
Yeah.
compared to some like the other places I post.
I It's crazy because we just got back from traveling abroad, and I had somebody come up to me and they go, "Oh, I follow you on YouTube Shorts," and they lived in France, and I was like, I just repurposed my content to YouTube Shorts. So listening to that, I was like, "Wait, is YouTube Shorts, like, popping off in other countries and, like, I don't
Yes.
know about it?" But then sometimes I'll find myself scrolling on YouTube Shorts, I'm like, "Wait, what am I doing?" I'm like,
No,
"This is
yeah, I have like
crazy."
a huge Australian community, which is fun because it's probably because one time I posted a video trying Vegemite, and I was thinking like you scoop it on like peanut butter, so like I had like a big scoop and I'm spreading it, and like I look like an idiot trying it, and
Please.
so I got like roasted pretty hard for it. But my Australian friends were helping me figure it out. They're like just a tiny
Please.
bit, Katie, with butter, and like maybe I have yet to try it correctly, but
Yeah. I truly do not miss a day of my Symbiotica supplements, and I'm not kidding. Every morning, I take them. I take my little apple cider vinegar. I take my NMN from Symbiotica, which if you guys have been following me on any form of social media, you know I'm truly obsessed with this, and I take it every single day. And the days I forget, it's a huge noticeable difference for me. And I just love my little morning routine. Then I go on a nice little walk. I fell in love with Symbiotica a few years ago, back when I was listening to somebody else's podcast and I was listening to the founder of Symbiotica and just the like whole story behind it and how their supplements are different. And I was hooked from there on out. I went into Symbiotica's website, I took a quiz, and I started taking supplements every single day from them. And now, a few years later, and I'm still consistently taking them, and I'm so obsessed with them. So, let it be known, I am obsessed with Symbiotica and all their products. And they recently came out with a few new products, one being their liquid colostrum. So, liquid colostrum, it'll help support hair, skin, and nails. It helps maintain a healthy gut lining and supports a healthy immune system for somebody on the go like me. I literally have a flight booked in like a few days. The liquid colostrum is going to keep me healthy and keep me going. And I can really appreciate that. And something about Symbiotica is that the flavors. So the liquid colostrum is in a little packet and it tastes like a vanilla sea salt. So I almost remember to take my supplements because they taste good and I like look forward to having them and like the taste in my mouth. Another supplement I love from them is their magnesium L-threonate. It enhances focus, reduces brain fog, which as a mom, I have a lot of that. It also balances mood, it's calming, helps support stress management, helps support a restful sleep, and this is a liposomal delivery, so it's faster nutrient absorption, and the flavor is vanilla cream. So again, I do not forget to take these because they taste so dang good. The NMN I just keep by my other supplements that is in pill form, but I take it every day because I know it makes me feel so good. So if you guys can tell, I'm utterly obsessed with Symbiotica and I encourage you guys to try it out too. Again, you can go to their website and try out the little quiz and start from there. If you guys are interested, go to symbiotica.com/Sunday for 20% off plus free shipping. That's symbiotica.com/Sunday for 20% off plus free shipping. I recently decided I'm going to be running a marathon. And with running a marathon comes marathon training, but also bringing the nutrients back into my body that are going to support me and keep me healthy. And one thing I have fallen in love with during my marathon training journey is Kachava. Kachava is a whole body meal shake that'll keep your body and mind nourished all day. And the flavors are so good. I recently tried their strawberry flavor and it is, oh my gosh, so incredible. I've thought to myself, wow, I actually need to make this into an ice cream because I like to have a sweet treat at the end of the day. And it's like, oh, if it can be good for you, then why not? So if you guys have never heard of Kachava before, it is a whole body meal with plant-based protein that actually tastes delicious. I'm telling you, some of the vegan proteins or plant-based proteins can taste a little chalky. This, it's so good. It's 25 grams of 100% plant based protein, and they have 5 indulgent flavors with chocolate, vanilla, chai, matcha, and coconut acai. Again, I just tried the strawberry. It is so good. It tastes like a strawberry milkshake. as you can tell, I'm very, very obsessed with it. So it's all the good stuff for your mind and body that your mind and body crave with whole body health. So with every 2 scoops of Kachava, you get 85 plus superfoods, nutrients, and plant-based ingredients. And there's no artificial flavors, colors, sweeteners, non-GMO, no soy, no animal products, no gluten, no preservatives. As you can tell, it's pretty straightforward. It's really good, and it's also good for you. And you don't have to be vegan to love it. Again, it is just like the best flavor and there's no chalky taste to it. So if you guys are interested, as you can tell, I'm a huge fan. Fuel your game with Kachava. Go to kachava.com and use code Sunday for 15% off your next order. That's Kachava, KACHAVA.com, code Sunday for 15% off. If there's anything you guys know about me, you know I am always on the go, whether I'm running to a workout class or I'm running to a play date with my daughter or I'm on a flight. And one thing I've been trying to do is increase my protein. So I want to take a second to talk about David protein. David is the least calories for the most protein that you will ever find in a bar. More protein and fewer calories, it'll help you increase your muscle and decrease body fat. Most protein bars are packed with sugar and excess calories, but David bars are different. They're packed with 28 grams of protein, only 150 calories, and 0 grams of sugar. My husband loves them. I love them. I always have a few just packed away in my workout bag. I have a few in my car, and they're so delicious and they're also good for you. And if you're looking to increase your protein, this is a great way to do it. It has a high protein to calorie ratio. 75% of its calories come from protein, which is 50% higher than any other bar. So, as you can tell, I'm a huge fan, and that's why I always have David protein bars with me. Right now, David is offering my listeners a deal. You can buy 4 cartons and get the 5th free at davidprotein.com/Sunday. That's davidprotein.com/Sunday to get your 5th carton free. You can also find David on Amazon and at local retailers. Just use the store locator on their website. Humans aren't perfect, but David is. The huge male and female community.
Mhm.
Does that come with, I feel like in my experience, my male audience is very hard on me when it comes to like the terminology I use or what behind the scenes I'm talking about or any players that are very opinionated. Do you find that to be true with yours?
I mean, I would say, like, yes and no. I feel like I try my best to, like, make sure if I, like, post something and I start getting comments and, like, I said something wrong, I'm like, "Okay, maybe I just, like, remove this all in all and then,
Okay.
like, try again."
Yeah.
I try not to, like, let anything stay on too long if I do, like, incorrectly pronounce someone's name even, because it
Mhm.
happens all the time. Like, it's
Yes.
easy to make little mistakes,
Do it all
but,
the time.
like, you do something like that as a female in sports, you're going to get completely, like, bombarded with
Yeah.
comments and stuff. But I feel like the males that follow me, like, they're very supportive. I have a nice,
Okay.
like
Like maybe now
I'll
that my
tell them to
husband's
come over to your page.
now that my husband's retired, hopefully, they're a little bit kinder. It's funny that you say though, like you're quick to delete if you put up a video and like the comments are not great. Obviously, I am too. But it reminds me, I wonder what you would do in this scenario, okay? Because this happened to me.
Okay.
So my husband back when he was playing in the NFL, signed with the Cleveland Browns, and he had not yet put pen to paper. So he was flying from Arizona to Cleveland. And I was on TikTok Live, and I accidentally said that he was signing with the
Oh my
Browns.
goodness.
What would you have done in that scenario? You're on TikTok Live.
Um, I don't know what I would have done. I think I would have, like, passed out. I think I would have had an anxiety attack.
I did nothing. I just logged off TikTok
Yeah,
Live.
honestly,
I didn't
there's
even
nothing
tell
you can
him.
do. You're on live, like, that's a whole different
I was like,
story.
I hope somebody didn't record this and post it.
Did
But then
anyone?
no, but people were tweeting it, and I was like, I
You're
don't
like,
know what you're talking about.
Where's the proof?
I'm like,
was it me?
sorry.
Someone else leaked it.
And it is crazy because like for TikTok Live, I'm like, oh well, that's gonna disappear. But then there's like never. Everything is always
Oh,
online.
people are screen recording. It's out there.
Now TikTok Lives are just always screen recorded.
Yeah.
I'm like, can I profit off of that instead of you? Like, what are you doing?
I have not gone live on TikTok in a while, but I used to, like, sit on live on Musically for, like, 4 to 5 hours. I don't even know what I was talking about at the time. Like, that's what I would do.
Yeah,
Just,
okay.
like, talking to, like, my friends from that don't like, that are in the distance on the other phone. I'm like, "Yeah, these are my people." My
Social media is so weird, but it's funny, and, like, I think it's such a community for so many different people. That's what I love about or not TikTok. I mean, yes, TikTok too, but that's what I love about social media is that you can find your community in any form, no matter what you're going through. Somebody out there in the world is going through it too, and you can really find. I think, especially going through like postpartum, you can find a community for anything that you're dealing with.
Mhm.
So when it comes to women fans of sports, how have you seen the shift from like when you first went to college to now?
Yeah, I think, like, the biggest thing is I love that girls are starting to enjoy sports, but, like, not everyone loves watching the game, but there's so many different elements to it that
Mhm.
now, like, a lot of females are on board and they're, like, watching the games because, they love the player, they love the fashion, and I think it's
Yeah.
really cool to see females just being welcomed into this community. And what I love about, like, women in sports is it's like, genuinely, everyone's so uplifting and supportive of each other, which, like, that's not always the case. Like, I feel
Right.
like it's not, like, women being pitted against each other, which, like, in some other spaces, it very much is that way. Like,
Yeah.
beauty, fashion, I don't see as much of that support, and, like, even in my own experience, like, going to events and stuff. But, like, anytime I'm at a sporting event, I think it's because we all have that, like, common knowledge that everyone is hustling and working hard, and,
Yeah.
like, it's just ambitious, driven people that, like, we know, like, what goes into it and the grit it takes. So, like, we're like, "You know what? I'm gonna help you." I mean, people, like,
Yeah.
reach out to me all the time. I'm sure people reach out to you all the time. Like, giving someone even a tiny bit of advice makes the world of a difference.
I think it's also just such a space that is new. I I wanna say it's new for women to be, like, welcomed into,
Yeah.
because, I mean, look at the sports community 20 years ago, how many women sports broadcasters were there, or women coaches, or anybody in and around sports. It's changed drastically, and
Yes.
so when I see another woman trying to be in this space, I'm like, "I want you to be in this space because I want it to be welcoming for everybody,"
Yes.
whereas I feel like the beauty or fashion community, it can be a lot more, I don't like, competitive?
Yeah, I think it is competitive. I think that's what it is because there's a smaller amount of females in the sports space, and hopefully, like, as it grows,
Hopefully it becomes more
the
competitive, I love that.
I love a little competition.
Yeah.
No, yeah, but, like, even I remember my first Super Bowl I went to 4 years ago, which, like, I was a freshman in college. Like, I didn't even know what was
That's
going on. Like,
wild.
I didn't have
Yeah.
mini mic like, now I don't go anywhere without my mini mic. So, like, I'm, like, raising my hand at a press conference asking, like, Matthew Stafford a question, and I'm, like, yelling it out to him. I'm like, "What advice would you give your younger self?" And, like,
Yeah,
I was like, "I did it. I asked him a question," but I was definitely probably, like, the youngest person there and one of, like, 3 females there. And now
absolutely.
you go places like I'll go to the Super Bowl again, and there's so many females, and there's a lot
Mhm.
of people doing the social media stuff too, which is cool to see because, like, I was probably the only person with my phone. Even, like, the first Commanders game I went to, I'm, like, the only person on the field with my little iPhone, and they're like, "Are
Yeah.
you," like, like, the
Wait, are you
officials
allowed to
have
be here?
to, yeah, they're like, "Are you supposed," I'm like, "I got the credential, I got the vest, like, my tan vest,"
Yeah.
and they're like, "Well, I think you have to have a camera for that." I'm like, "This is my camera."
You're
Like,
like,
I
"It's on
promise.
my phone,
Like,
technology's
yeah.
crazy." Yeah, right? Well, NFL season's coming up very quickly. I love NFL season. Do you like preseason, during season, or playoffs?
Ooh, I love the playoffs. I love as it gets close to Super Bowl, and I love how involved everyone gets, and, the
Yeah.
predictions start happening, and I mean, Super Bowl is like, I don't know, it's just the most.
Super Bowl is my Super Bowl.
Yeah, it is my Super Bowl. I'm, like, trying to, like, give it a comparison. I'm like, "No, it's just the Super Bowl." I
Yeah.
mean, there's events, like,
Oh my
so much
gosh.
networking. You meet so many people. We were at the same, like,
Yes.
Estee Lauder event, which,
Yes.
like, you just meet so many people and connect with so many people, so
It's also just such a, oh my gosh, it's not what it used to be, because this year, I think I flew in on Monday before, like, the Monday before the Sunday,
yeah.
and it was crazy. Like, there are events popping up every single day. There's parties, there's this, there's that, and everybody from the sports community is all in the same city. I'm like, "This city, I hope you have enough hotel rooms to, like, house everybody."
No,
It's
literally.
crazy. So, okay, you love playoff season, Super Bowl. You said predictions. Who's your prediction this year?
Ooh. Well, I'm hoping the Commanders are in it.
Yep.
I would like to see I don't know, I would like to see the Bills in it as well. I think that'd be cool. I would
Mm,
that's what I wanted for this past Super Bowl. Like, I really
okay.
wanted to see I mean, I think that the Commanders have a shot at the Super Bowl this year.
Hey,
So,
we'll
like,
see.
I think they have a really good chance. So, I'm hoping that they beat the Eagles in the NFC Championship.
Okay, I love that. Well, now that my husband's retired, I can actually like I can be like, "Oh, I'm rooting for this team hard." I'm now forever a Los Angeles Chargers fan. I
Yes.
just am. So I'm always going to be rooting for them. Um, so with Super Bowl and NFL season coming up, do you have any players that you would like love to interview?
Ooh, that's a good question. I would love to just interview, like, some rookies. It'd be cool to I mean, now that I'm in New York to, like, get to go to some, like, Jets and Giants games and,
Mhm.
like, talk to some of the young guys, especially, like, the young quarterbacks, like Jackson Dart, like, how's the transition coming? I think it's
Yeah.
cool to, like, get to tell the story early on for these guys before, they become super big and they have, like to, like, talk to them now and then, again, like, talk to them later.
Yes.
Um I'm watching the, like, quarterback on Netflix right now, and so, like, I Jared Goff is, like, awesome.
No, they are the exact like they are the most down to earth couple.
Yeah, I really wanna talk to him and his wife, that would be unreal.
I'm like,
Kirk Cousins is also I think he's hilarious.
oh my gosh, Kirk Cousins. I'm like, he also seems very down to earth. It is so wild because you have like the old not saying Jared, you're old, but you have like the older quarterbacks that have kind of been there
Mhm.
for a while. And now with this new space of social media, they're able to like actually show who they are off the field. And I feel like people are like falling in love with them again. It's
Yeah.
like, okay, we love you as a player, but now we're falling in love with like your family and your wife and you're off the field, like whatever you're doing. And it's so interesting to see all of that kind of like transcend.
Yeah, no, it's awesome. I'm trying to, like, think of other people. Any Penn Staters. I love, like I'm, like, friends with, Tyler Warren, he's now with the Colts, like,
Hmm.
Abdul Carter. It'd just be so cool to, like, get their stories early on. Like, I love, like it's just, like, to see the development, I think would be really fun to, like, do some sort of
Yes.
series where, like, I talk to rookies.
Well, my thing about that, like even the younger guys coming in now, I'm like, you have such like you have everything at your fingertips. Like you can grow your story from now until like you're 8 years in the league, you're married, you have kids. Like you can really take that. And I finally think players are starting to see social media as more of a tool to like grow their story, grow a different sort of career. And I also want to touch on that for a second is a lot of people when it comes to social media, they think like, okay, you're on social media, but like that could disappear tomorrow.
Yeah.
With you, you've grown such a career outside of social media. Obviously, it's based in social media. But like, what is that like when people are like, oh, you're just like making funny TikToks and you're like, actually, I'm working with an NFL team.
Yeah, no, I definitely think, like, it took me a long time to gain respect from people, and it's, like, interesting now, even people in high school that the people that made fun of me told me I couldn't
You're
do
like,
it.
but
I
look at me
had,
now.
like, cousins that were like, "What is she doing? She's wasting her time."
Mm-hmm.
And now it's like those same people are asking me for help or, like, to set them up with internships, and I'm very, like I'm not one to hold a grudge. I mean, I
I
forgive,
am.
I don't
I am
forget.
one to hold a
I
grudge.
need to be more like that. I need to be like, "You
No.
want" I'll be like, "No." "You
I'm
need
like,
an email?" "No."
yeah, right.
But I try my best to help anyone out, but, like, it's yeah, to see the turnaround from what I went through in high school to now, like, people supporting me
Crazy.
is crazy. Like, it took so long to, like, reach that respect, which is sad that, like, it had to get to the point where it's like, I needed to be validated by working with the NFL or going to this event, or it's like, when is it when is this considered a job
Right.
versus
And
just, like, a hobby? And, like, I mean, you were at the Masters too. Like, the amount
yes.
of people that reached out to me that I haven't heard from in years and, like, are like, "Can you get me Masters merch?" I'm like, "What?" Like, I don't even, like, remember the last time we had a conversation.
You're like, "Actually, the answer is gonna be no." I'm like, "Have you seen the line at the Masters for to get merch?" I'm like, "Absolutely
Did you
not."
get any good merch?
I think I got a dog collar and I got my daughter a stuffed animal.
Oh, that's cute.
But my dad went in there, he was like, "Okay, I have to get stuff for the whole family." And I
Oh,
was like,
yeah.
"Hey, go off, King." I was like, "Couldn't be me though, because I feel like sometimes I think I'm a people pleaser, but then I do stuff like that and I'm like, "No, I just got my dog and my daughter something."
Oh, that's
My husband's
awesome.
like, "Did you get me a t-shirt?" I'm like, "Oh, I probably should have done that."
I love that you brought your dad. I saw the video, like, you surprising him. I'm like, this is what this is all about. Like,
Yeah.
getting to, like, share with your family is And that's what makes it so special.
Yeah, it makes it so special, and it feels just good to, like, see your hard work pay off in a way that, like, you can bring your family and your friends into it, and it feels like, I don't know, a different type of success, like, I'm so grateful for. I'm like, I worked my ass off to get here, but
Right.
I still, at the end of the day, I'm like, "Okay, I'm really grateful," and, like, do I deserve this? But, like, I love giving back to my family, and my
Yes,
dad
you absolutely deserve
loved
it.
going to the Masters. Okay, well, before we end today's episode, I have one last question.
Yes.
What is next? Like, what are you looking forward to? What is like, give us the insight.
Well, there's lots in the works. Pretty soon there will be an exciting announcement. So
Okay.
everyone, yeah, I wish I could say exactly what it is, but life is about to get crazy. In the best way possible. Like I'm really excited for this football season especially and yeah, I mean, my content will definitely look different. I will have access I haven't had before, get to go to events I haven't been to before. So, yeah, this year I think will probably be like the biggest turning point so far in my career.
Which is crazy
And
because you've had a lot of
I know, I'm
crazy years,
like
but
yeah,
okay.
this is 2025, 2026. I'm manifesting that this will hopefully be a
Big year?
big year for me. I don't know, fingers crossed. But yeah, it's some exciting stuff in the works.
When people were like, whenever content creators come on social media, they're like, "Oh, I have a secret, but like I can't tell you that." I love that. I'm like,
You do?
yeah, I like the suspense. I'm like, tell me what's coming, but like, don't tell me what's coming. So many people are like, "Oh, I don't like when people do that." I'm like, why?
No, honestly,
You're nosy.
I'm nosy. I'm like, tell me now.
Yeah.
They're like, especially when artists like they start teasing a song, like, you're releasing this in how many months? Like, why
Yeah.
are you? That's now.
You're
Like,
like,
release
don't.
it now.
Yeah, like tell me like maybe the day before, but don't tell me like a month
Like, give me a
before.
hint. Tell
Exactly.
me.
Okay, I love that. All right, let's jump into some rapid fire questions. It's kind of just like this or that. Game day outfit. Are you wearing it team gear or a designed or designer outfit?
Team gear.
Love that. NBA or WNBA?
Ooh, we'll go WNBA. I'm going to the All-Star game next.
Ooh, okay. And then Paige Beckers or Caitlin Clark?
Ooh, Caitlin Clark. I did a competition with her with Gatorade at the Super Bowl, so I have to say Caitlin because she was hilarious, very competitive with me, and I'm like Caitlin. There's no way I'm gonna even come close to what you're doing. Like we're
There's no
throwing
need to be
footballs. I'm like,
competitive.
and she's like, is her arm good? I'm
Yeah.
like, my arm. Like, what are you
You're like,
talking
what?
about?
Please. Coaching your kids' team or cheering from the sidelines?
Ooh, I'll do cheer from the sidelines.
Everyone's choosing that, and I'm like, I want to be the coach. But then again, I'm like, I haven't played sports in a minute.
I don't know if
so.
I'm cut out for being the coach.
Okay. Interviews on NFL sidelines or Super Bowl red carpet?
Interviews on NFL sidelines.
Kelsey brothers or Manning brothers?
Ooh, I love the Kelsey brothers. They're hilarious.
College football Saturdays or NFL Sundays?
I love college football. College football Saturdays. That's a tough one though.
Penn State football or Washington Commanders?
Ooh, that's tough. Since I've now graduated, I'll say the Commanders.
Love that. Okay, and then where can the people find you on social media?
At Katie Feeney on pretty much everything. Some platforms have 2 Y's, but just search Katie Feeney and you'll find
We
me
need to get that
somewhere.
fixed.
I know. I'm like, do I fix that now? I'm like, I've had the 2 Y's for so long. I might as well just stick with it.
Like, honestly, just legally change your last name.
Yeah, maybe. Maybe.
All right, well, thank you so much for coming on.
Thank you.
And I hope you guys enjoyed this episode of Sunday Sports Club. Be sure to tune in every Sunday.